Now I'm going to talk about archetypes because all his ideas are related to archetype and unconsciousness. As when we were talking about the myth criticism and archetypal criticism, I've explained that archetypes are formed in a form of pattern, and those patterns are formed by the myth. And our every ideology in our life is formed by the myth. So it is like transferring from generation to generation. The myth has been transferred from generation to generation. And we acquire those myths. Among them, one is our religion. Religion is acquired by from our forefathers. So if our parents belongs to Hindu, we have to be in a Hindu family. Apart from religion, there are many moral values, what I call sanskar. They are also being transferred from mythology, from generation to generation. But these archetypes have no authenticity or no validity. They are just following because they are taught like this. I'll give you a beautiful example. Have you seen anyone drinking and smoking inside a temple? No.
No.
In everybody's home, there is one worship home, puja ghar. And in that room, nobody eats non-vegetarian. Nobody drinks in that room. What is this? Is that mean God is there in that room? And at other places there is no God? This shows the same thing. Inside the temple there is a God, but outside the temple there is no God. What we want to say? Are you getting my thought?
Yes, sir.
So this is a type of archetype which has been formed from the mythologies, which has been taught by our ancestors, our forefathers. At one place, we say that God is everywhere. So if God is everywhere, you should not drink, you should not smoke anywhere. You should not eat non-vegetarian anywhere. When you are flying at 30,000 feet in the aeroplane, and if your mask fall down, that moment you remember God. God is there. That time you say God is everywhere. So this type of mythology has been prevailing in our personality. And these are the unconscious things. We have never thought about this. So Carl Jung said that there has been lots of archetypes. There has been a layer of archetypes. And he said that archetypes can be divided, or archetypes can be layered in two forms. One is the upper layer and the other is deeper layer. So what is the upper layer and what is deeper layer? Upper layer is the unconscious of the self, that he called personal unconsciousness, means the repressed desire of an individual. So that is also in the form of archetypes. Those desires are in the form of layers. One repression over by other repression over by other repression. Because of there are so many social restrictions that does not allow us to perform all those things which we desire. So there is one gatekeeper inside us, that is called ego, who stops us to do anything which is not accepted by the society. So those desires, those drives keep repressed inside us, layer by layer, layer by layer. So that is called the upper layer or the personal unconsciousness. But apart from that, those repressions, those archetypes which we have collected from our forefathers, that has been prevailing since generation to generation, that has been transferring from generation to generation. That is the deeper layer of unconsciousness. So that deeper layer we get from our ancestors, we get from our culture, we get from our house, our family members. The deeper layer we get also by the attitude, the vibration of other family members in their house. For example, most of us are married here, and when a girl marries and comes to in-laws house, so she has to change her attitude, depends upon the new family members. Means her archetype has been changed. So she has to look at the archetype of husband, in-laws, grandfather, grandmother, like that. So her own attitude, her own archetypes are affected by the archetypes of others. So Carl Jung called this deeper layer of archetype as collective unconsciousness. The unconsciousness which is collective, in collection, group. एक पूरी ग्रुप का unconsciousness is affecting our personality. And those collective unconsciousness, he gave the example of hospital and a temple. That one day when your mood is very fine, you are feeling very happy, and you go inside a hospital, how you feel? You feel like you should come out from the hospital as early as possible, because the smell inside the hospital is very bad. The people are crying, someone is weeping. You cannot bear those pains. So there is a collective unconsciousness of all those pain healing people, pain containing people inside the hospital, that is affecting your own archetype. Collective unconsciousness of the hospital. So we are also formed by the collective unconsciousness. And opposite to this, contrast to this, he gave the example of the church, not a temple, obviously a church. That if we go inside a church, whatever the mood we have, but there is a collective unconsciousness of all the people who are inside the church, you feel very peaceful, very light, even though from inside you are not happy. Because the people who have reached in the church, nobody is having the attitude of looting, snatching, robbing. Everybody is there with a good wish. So that's creating a vibration, collective vibration. So that is a collective consciousness, collective unconsciousness. So I hope you have got the clear-cut idea of what is archetype, what is personal unconsciousness, and what is collective unconsciousness.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, as you say, deeper layer we get from our ancestors.
Ancestors and culture.
Yeah. Then, sir, is it that our upper layer also develops under all those effects?
Yes, of course. Because ये जो collective unconsciousness that we are getting from our ancestors, that is there from childhood, even since birth.
Okay.
The moment a child means the infant is there in the womb, it is there. The archetype is there. Collective unconsciousness is there in the womb itself. That is proved by Abhimanyu. If you take the example from the mythology, उसको womb में ही सब कुछ पता चल गया था. So that is also type of archetype, collective unconsciousness. Okay.
Yes, it means upper layer develops under the influence of deeper
Of
layer. Is it no, sir?
upper layer. Very right.
Okay, sir.
Exactly. This is the same I wanted to convey.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
Anyone else having any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, then I'll go ahead. So you can see this picture in front of you, that how our archetypes are formed. These are the people, these are the environment around us, which make a pattern in our personality. So initially, people used to call it mind, but when the psychologists come, they used to call this psyche. Mind को बदल के उन्होंने psyche कर दिया. But when Carl Jung said, he said that psyche is a type of personality. अभी mind जो है personality बन गया. And how a personality is found? Personality is found by the archetype. And he gave 4 types of archetypes. ये जितने archetype हमारे लाइफ में हो रहे हैं उसको उसने 4 भाग में डिवाइड किया है. So I'll explain all those 4 types also, but before that, let's see what he writes. The psychiatrist and psychotherapist Carl Gustav Jung proposed that everyone's personality contains elements of 4 major archetypes. These archetypes provide models for our behavior and influence the way we think and we act. Jung labeled these archetypes the self, the persona, the shadow, and anima and animus. So these 4 types of archetypes are very, very important, and we must remember them. जो उसने पूरी 4 तरह की आर्केटाइप उसने बताई है, the name is very, very important. One is self, persona, shadow, and anima and animus. Before explaining that, let's talk about collective unconsciousness. There is a very beautiful picture in front of you where you can say that the bottom part of this circle